Much of the Breath of the Wild's development was shrouded in mystery for a long time until now.
Let's go! Yes, there was a 3-part behind-the-scenes video that Nintendo released on YouTube, which is awesome. It really felt like something that would come out with like a big blockbuster movie, and this is kind of the first time Nintendo's done something like that.
That's right. We got to see behind the
story,
the characters, the design of the environment,
open air
adventure. Yes.
Sorry.
You know what's terrible is that I've started to think of the game in those terms, open air adventure.
You know what's even worse? I've started to think of the world as open air. I'm like, I could go there.
You could go anywhere.
Like, there's a tower. I could get the map for the area.
That's so bad.
Well, what can you do?
You are a sheltered child.
So, let's talk about some key takeaways from this thing. Let me just get the negative out of the way, because let's do that, and then there's a lot of good ones. I really didn't like how there was no English dub.
Yeah.
It was cool, all the Japanese developers and producers and directors and whatnot, they were talking about it, and all good content, but we just had to do subtitles. And what I didn't like about that is, well, first of all, it's 30 total minutes of reading subtitles.
Right.
But they had such interesting footage.
Yeah.
That I wanted to be watching that, and I couldn't because I had to be looking at the
reading
words
as well.
So we're actually going to be doing something about that.
Yeah, we got to do something about that because this is good stuff.
Yes.
This isn't just, Nintendo putting a throwaway video that they're kicking.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that. It's a throwaway video. That's the symbol for throwing it away.
Good.
But it's good stuff, and so we didn't want to leave it to where people wouldn't be able to enjoy it.
Okay, so they showed prototypes. That's very interesting.
I want to play that 2D prototype.
I know.
It's so cool. I saw it, and I like the way that they developed it, and I don't know if they're hinting towards something, but the way it looked was exactly like the way they did Mario Maker with the shadow behind it.
Yeah.
It's like, are they going to make Legend of Zelda Dungeon Maker?
Right. Oh, man.
If so, it's going to be cool.
Yes. That art style is also shared with NES Remix 1 and 2, so it doesn't automatically mean Zelda Maker, but that series would be a good fit. I think it would be great. So yeah, that was super interesting. They're like, we need to make a big, modern, 3D open world game. How are we going to do it? We'll start with 2D sprites. Who would have thought of that?
Nobody would have thought of that. I think that's genius. Maybe next time they make a 2D game, they'll start out in 3D.
Yeah. And then it was cool seeing like all the 3D prototypes too. Like developers were just allowed to put whatever they wanted using the Breath of the Wild engine and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when you watch like the big aliens fighting lasers and you're running through it, like that feeling totally translated into what ended up being the Guardians shooting at you and stuff. You
can see all the different pieces come together.
Yeah.
Why they did what they did and what trickled down from what.
Yeah.
One of the things that was something we talked about long ago that we just saw a glimpse of in this cartoony, weird kitty drawing was Link on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Which kind of blew my mind. It's like, wow, that was actually something they were considering.
Yes.
And however much I want a futuristic, gritty, dark city Legend of Zelda, this was really interesting to see.
It's gonna happen someday.
I hope so.
The gritty city.
The gritty city.
Legend of Zelda Gritty City. And of course they'll have the storyline where Ganon is reincarnated as like a modern terrorist or whatever.
Or a mobster.
Yes.
I can totally see that.
And then Link will mount Epona the Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Indeed.
So yeah, I can't believe that they showed us some of that stuff.
Yep. They even had stuff, well, you mentioned the UFOs. Yeah. They had the Picori, the little people in the game.
Yeah.
And I thought that was genius. Now, they did that in the Minish Cap, but 3D-wise, they did something similar in Okami with these creatures called the Ponkles. And you could go, and they had a stump in a forest that you could go and visit, and you could shrink down with the use of a magic mallet and visit their world. And I thought that was genius that they might have them sprinkled.
Ponkles just sounds like something you go get a prescription for and try to vomit up. Oh boy,
that's bad.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was interesting that they considered even such a small thing.
Yep.
But I like how they admitted, even though it would have been interesting to see the mechanics, they would have gotten lost in the small or such a large world.
Yeah. And great glimpses into the development. I liked how they let the audio guy speak, even though he's probably not the most famous of the people. It was really interesting. He was like, we're just going to use a French horn for the Moblin thing. But then someone was like, I have an instrument like that. And just brings it to work, and now it's in the Zelda game.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Or like Link's footsteps. They wanted to take such care with it because you were going to constantly be hearing it.
Yes.
That they took it to the Foley studio and Foleyed it out.
Yeah.
And also, another interesting thing that I thought was cool about the development cycle is that they took breaks. Like Aonuma at least made it sound like it was like a week block where they stopped development.
It sounded like 2 weeks to me, like 2 weeks out of the month.
Yeah.
I think is what he said.
And so you just stop everything and play the game. And that's so genius.
Yeah.
And he even admitted, even though he stopped development, he said that's sped up development, and I'm sure it made it a whole lot better because
this would save time in the long run.
Yeah,
which I mean, if you're spending half your time testing, that does seem like a lot. But what about if you kind of wrap up development for the most part, then go into testing? You might find things that are catastrophic that could have been caught early on. So that's probably what they did. They just future-proofed a lot of their work.
It's genius
as they went,
and you're gonna notice, especially stopping and starting and doing it, staggered in your process, that you're going to catch a lot of the stuff that users are going to right away recognize as this is a dumb decision. Like, they should not have done this. Like, and most games, you can sit down, play it for, a couple hours, play it for a week or so, and recognize this was a dumb decision that anyone can recognize, and they can catch those with that sort of development technique.
I mean, no wonder this game was a 10 out of 10. When you consider 50% development time testing, team of 300 people putting in thousands of collective hours a month testing this game. Incredible.
Indeed.
Yeah, so we learned a lot. We said we're going to do something about that voiceover. So if you haven't watched this series, just
wait.
Hold off a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll help you guys out. How's that for being mysterious and shady?
That sounds extremely mysterious and shady, and hopefully they'll be on the edge of their seats waiting to see what we do.
Yes. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of the crew, and thanks for being on the edge of your seats.
Yes, and don't forget to comment below what you thought of if you've already seen it. Comment what you thought was extremely interesting about this behind-the-scenes look at Breath of the Wild.
See you guys next time.
Signing out.